Hey YouTube, it's Gypsy. I guess I could take my sunglasses off. Hello. And I do have hair. It's in a ponytail, so you can't see it. I look like I'm bald back here. Right then, so I'm gonna do a quick little stupid random car vlog on school lunches. I am kind of a picky person when it comes to food, especially in regards to what my children eat. And so I typically pack their lunch. Rather than dog the school or try to fight the system, as far as nutrition goes, you know, I understand that the states, you know, I mean, it's paid for by taxpayer money. My kids don't go to private school, so, you know, I get it. You know, the food quality is not going to be the greatest, so I take it into my own hands and I pack their lunches. Well, I recently, you know, I have my little thing hooked up to the internet and stuff where I get notices if their balances are low, if they do eat at school. And I got a low balance notice last night, and I was like, well, that's weird because the kids have been taking their lunch. I mean, I only keep like $10 or so in each one of their accounts because they really super rarely eat at school, and the school year's about over, so I figured $10 should last until the end of the school year. Well, I get this notice. My youngest had $3 left in her account, and I was like, what? So I go in and I look, and I can look again online at their meal history to see what they've bought. Well, it turns out she has been a ravenous little monkey and has not only been eating her lunch, but she's also been buying lunch at school. So she's been eating 2 lunches a day for about the past 3 or 4 days. And we've had a problem in the past with her, like, getting goldfish, her and her other sister. My oldest one is as bad as I am. She's actually more picky about food than I am. When it comes to whole foods and eating whole foods versus processed or packaged foods, she just, like, won't hardly do it, thankfully. The other 2 aren't quite so picky. And I had an issue with them buying chips and goldfish at school because I give them snacks, I give them food. I don't want them eating that stuff, you know, regularly. Obviously, they're gonna eat snack food. I'm not like a total food Nazi, okay? But on a regular basis, I don't want them eating goldfish and, you know, Cheez-Its. Dear God in heaven, do not eat the Cheez-Its. You know, have you ever read what's in those things? You can't pronounce half the crap that's in those things. Anyway, I digress. So I noticed that she had been buying, not snacks this time, because I got in a lot of trouble for that, but lunches, like whole lunches. So I asked her, and I'm thinking, is she buying somebody else's food? I mean, what's going on? Turns out baby girl is going through a growth spurt, and she's been really hungry, and her lunches haven't been enough, and so she's still hungry. I don't have a problem with the kid wanting more food, okay? The thing is, she didn't come to me and say, Mom, can you pack it a little heavier because I'm still hungry when I get done eating. She's just been eating the crap at school. And my initial reaction this morning was to tell her, fine, you want to eat at school? That food fills you up? Eat at school for the rest of the year. We only have like 2 or 3 weeks left. You know, and it was like, fine, eat at school. You know, eat the hamburgers and the pizza and whatever, and we'll see how you feel, you know, because they notice. I mean, because they eat so clean all the time, when they eat crap, like, they don't feel good. They really don't feel good. They notice a difference. So I was thinking, you know, I'm going to teach her a lesson. She's going to eat school food for the rest of the school year, and we'll see how she likes that. Well, today, I had to go by the school to drop off some papers, and so I decided to do it during lunch so I could go and see both of my elementary school-aged children and, you know, just say hello. So I go in and I surprise her, and I bring these papers that she needed and whatever, and I'm sitting there looking at her tray, expecting to see Taco Day or pizza or a hamburger, you know, lunch food. No. On my daughter's tray is this giant pile of macaroni and cheese. That was the entree. That was the main food item, was macaroni and cheese. For real. Okay. State school nutrition people out there, if you're watching and listening, let me tell you something right now. Macaroni and cheese is not a freaking entree, okay? Macaroni and cheese is a side item. That's a supplemental thing that you tack onto the meal for a couple extra calories or something cheesy and tasty, and that's fine, and I get that. You do not serve that to children as their main source of nutrition for their meal. What the deuce is wrong with you people? Seriously? When I was looking and going through her thing, nachos and cheese was one of the entrees that she got one day. Nachos, people, like ballpark nachos. Cheese out of a can that's not even really cheese on chips covered in salt and preserved with God knows what. That's the main food item. No, okay? No. It's bad enough that the hamburger meat is mixed with soy and that, you know, we have all these... I have so many issues with school food, but I was going to let it slide and let my kid, you know, I was trying to come up with a consequence that wasn't, you know, me berating her or, you know, it was like, fine, you want to eat that food? Eat that food. I can't let her eat that food. I can't let her eat that food. So I'm freaking out. I'm just like, you know, and the more I think about it and the more I reflect on the things that I've seen that have been on trays, you know, fruit, the bastardized Walker version of the food that is served when it comes to fruits. Okay, fruit out of a can, that's pretty much sugar. That's been totally, no. That's no. It's Walker food, okay? My friend and I had a joke one day. We were talking about this. You know, like canned vegetables, Walker food. You know, it's been boiled and cooked down to where there's really very little actual nutrition left in it. It's Walker food. It's dead food. It's not going to feed your body anything. You know, if it's got something fibrous in it, all right, you may be getting a little bit of dietary fiber in there, but for all intents and purposes, it is dead food. It's Walker food. It is Night of the Living Dead food. It's formerly known as food, and people disguise it as food, and they think they're eating food, but it's a lie. It's not really food anymore. You know, you want to eat green beans. If you're busy like I am, at least get the frozen ones. I mean, my God, you got to heat it up in the microwave. What does that take? 3 minutes? Okay, well, guess what? For an extra 2 minutes, you can get a steamable bag of fresh green beans that have been frozen while they were fresh and eat it that way. Yeah, of course it's more crunchy because it's still got its fiber and its vitamins in it. You know, I do not eat canned vegetables. I do not eat them. I ate them as a child growing up, but as an adult who reads about nutrition, I will never eat canned vegetables again unless I'm at someone else's house and I don't want to be rude. But if I'm nourishing my body or the bodies of my children, no, I'm not feeding my kids Walker food. And it really pisses me off that the state approves things like that as being healthy and nutritious. No, it's not. It's not. You're feeding them fake crap to get them through the rest of the day. You know, macaroni and cheese, that just pisses me off. I would rather see them eating chicken nuggets, which are still crap. But at least they're, I don't know. I really don't know. Now that I'm saying that out loud, no, I don't want to eat that either. I'm too picky. I'm too picky about food. I've read too much. I know too much. I've eaten the apple. No pun intended. Knowledge is sometimes very inconvenient because, you know, I am very aware of what is in food and what is not in certain foods. And, you know, I'm sitting there looking at my daughter's tray and looking at the food she's eating, and I felt horrible. And I'm sitting here thinking it is my job as her mother to make sure that she grows up as healthy as possible. When she's out of my nest, she can eat freaking ho-hos and nerds all day for all I care. That's not on me. That's on her. But while she's in my home, I want her to be the healthiest version of herself that she can be because I am responsible for her well-being, top to bottom, inside and out, period. And I take that very, very seriously. So I'm going to have to adjust the punishment. I don't know what it's going to be. You know, she's only 8, so I don't want to take money away from her to pay for the food she bought. And again, she was hungry. She needed more food. So, you know, I am going to start packing her lunches much heavier. Obviously, since she is going through a growth spurt, it's like she can't get enough food. It's like she's got a hollow leg and it's just falling into an abyss when she swallows it. So, you know, I get that. It's time to up it, you know, while she's growing. She's obviously going to grow a couple inches here pretty soon. So, you know, I'll do that. You know, I don't know. I'm going to have to think of a different consequence. Maybe today was enough of a consequence. I don't know. I mean, it's not like she was being tortured. She's an 8-year-old little girl, and she had a pile of macaroni and cheese in front of her. She was cool. I was not cool. I didn't say anything to her. You know, it was kind of like, you know what, just enjoy your day. Enjoy your lunch, because, no. You know, and I'm looking around the cafeteria, and there's kids everywhere, and, you know, their little trays have these, you know, just mushy canned pears as the fruit, you know, chocolate milk, was the beverage or juice, fruit juice, because we all know how nutritious fruit juice is. Anyway, and then, you know, the piles and piles and piles of macaroni and cheese on all these little babies' plates. And it's just, I use little babies very freely. It's not little babies, it's elementary school kids, but to me, they're all babies. My 14-year-old is a baby. You know, but anyway, it was really aggravating. And, you know, looking around and thinking, you know, how many parents really just trust and just let their kids eat at school because it's easy and it's inexpensive, and they just trust, well, it's state approved. It's state approved. So freaking what? The FDA approves stuff all the time that no one should eat. No one. You know, we've got all these various lawsuits and petitions going around about, you know, yoga mat ingredients and formaldehyde and, you know, different things like this in our food. American food standards are abhorrent compared to, abhorrent? Is that right? Just horrible. Horrible. I'm too upset right now to think of big words. It's horrible. Standards. You know, you go to the UK, half the shit we eat here, they're not even allowed to serve in the UK. You know, that's something that needs to be looked at. You know, but it's all about the bottom line here in the United States. You know, it's all about most bang for your buck, or how can I get the most out of my product so that I can, you know, make the best profits. It's not about nutrition, it's about money. And it just irritates the dickens out of me. So, anyway, that is my random car vlog for the day, and I know it's stupid, but to me it's not. To me it's a huge issue, and it just further, you know, supports my own feelings that the only way to do this right is to just do it yourself, man. If you want it done right, do it yourself, pack the lunches, you know, take that extra time at night. I do it in the mornings because I just don't feel like doing anything at night. But, you know, I get up in the morning, I pack their lunches, I make sure that there is something from every food group. They're whole foods, they're fresh foods. The meat is freshly cooked in the morning. I get cutlets of either turkey or chicken. I get the stuff that has no hormones. I don't do a lot of grass-fed because that is just so damn expensive right now. It's crazy. I do sometimes, but not every time. But, you know, I really do. I mean, I make an effort to make sure my kids are eating whole foods. Nothing out of packages. They do not eat food out of packages. I mean, not generally speaking. They're kids. They live, you know, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not a food Nazi. I don't constantly go around nitpicking at everything they eat. And when they go to other people's houses, eat whatever they're serving. It's, you know, don't be that person. But, you know, at the same time, in my house, when I'm actually feeding them a meal that I am trying to nourish them, there's nothing out of a package. And that's probably about 75-80% of the time. I think that's pretty good this day and age, because you know how hard it is to try to feed your kids right. It's hard. And you obviously don't trust the schools, man. Look at the menus. Go, if you're able to, go have lunch with your kid and look around, see what the kids are eating. I'm telling you, it's upsetting. It's very aggravating for people like me, because I am big on that. Anyway, enough of my rant. That's all I had. I'm home, so I've got to go run and do some other stuff. But I also wanted to let y'all know I figured out the software and videos are coming up. So keep your eyes peeled. I'm working on the intro pieces. Once I get the intro pieces and I can tack them onto the actual videos, we're golden, baby. Golden. You guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later. Blessed be.